Alright, boys, so this is the exact system you're going to use to scale past 10K per month or in any industry, right? You're not, this is like, you're sending DMs, right? This is a tool like user. You could use this for across any industry because everyone and anyone is on Instagram, right? Whether you're like in SMA, you're in like your growth operator, you're in any agency, anything, any online business, Instagram is a wonderful tool you could use to get thousands of leads for cheap. And by far, Instagram for me has been the cheapest and the best way to get clients. All right. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna figure out your niche. 1 second. So this could be anything, right? So let's say if you're in SMA, this could be med spas. That's just an example, right? You can easily find med spas owners on Instagram, okay? Because they're going to be on there. So ideally you would want to search up med spa owner influencers, right? Like anything, right? Med spa influencers. I don't even know, man. I don't know the industry. So you would go into their following and you would scrape them. Now, what are you going to use to scrape the following and followers? So a lot of people use, right? 1 second. Let me just write this down. So scraping, right? Scraping leads. So of course, like if before sending messages, you are going to have, let me just make this bigger. You're going to have to scrape the leads. Now you're going to use, there's a few options you could do. Okay, there's a few options you could use to scrape leads. Now the first option is, I'm just going to copy this. The first option would be, 1 second. This is the option I use, right? The first option is IG followers, says IG followers. I just wrote this down on the side. IG followers and following. This is the exact name. Exporting tool. Okay, and this is like by far the best. This is just like this is an extension. Okay. This is a Chrome extension. You can find it on the Chrome Web Store. There are other ways, but this is what works for me. So once you've scraped these leads, right, you would have a bunch of leads, right, and you would have to qualify them. So ideally, right, you would qualify these leads, and how are you going to do that? You're not going to sit through thousands of leads and qualify each of them. So the best way to do it is use ChatGPT, and have a prompt like, you know, remove any bot accounts. You could just have a prompt that clears your leads, right? I'm not going to go into super details on like what exactly to do. I'll have another video of each part of this process. But again, you're going to use AI, right, to do this. Once you have your leads filtered out, you want to put them into Google Sheets and you want to start sending messages. Now, how do you start sending messages? This is the main question. You want to start sending messages by, you're going to need Instagram accounts. So ideally you need aged Instagram accounts, because if you make new Instagram accounts, they're going to get banned. Instagram is not going to let you send like a large amount of DMs per account. You could probably send safely like 5-10, and you're not going anywhere scaling that. You're still going to get banned. I have literally gotten banned by sending like 10 DMs on a new account. Trust me, you don't want to do that. So you need age ID accounts. I have a supplier, so if you hit me up on Instagram, you'll find it in my YouTube bio, right? I have a supplier. I'll share that guy's number with you guys if you're a cool guy, of course. I'll share you guys a number. You can find accounts. I think it's like $1, $2 for an account, or you could use Z2U, Z2U.com. Now you want to make sure that each account is aged, ideally 2 to 3 years, and then you want to, after you bought these accounts, you want to buy proxies. Where are you gonna buy proxies from? What proxies are you gonna use? So the proxies I use are proxies, right? You're gonna use, you have two options in proxies. You have IPv4, you have and IPv6, right? Basically, I don't really care. I use IPv6, even though they're a lot cheaper. You could get those for like 50 cents, and I haven't had any issues with IPv6 proxies. Some people like have issues, but I've never experienced issues, so just use IPv6 proxies. but you need to make sure you warm up your account. So you could use proxy sale. Proxysale.com is one website. Each proxy is going to be like 50 cents. Super cheap, man. And this is how you're going to sell by using cheap proxies. Okay, 50 cents each. And often these proxies are less abused, so it's easier to find good quality proxies. Okay. Once you bought these proxies, you need a software to connect the proxies, the accounts together. So a lot of people use Hide My Account. Hide My Account is expensive. I use AdsPower. One second. AdsPower. You can just make an account. I'll have like links to all this stuff. There'll be affiliate links if you want to support me, man. Go ahead. But you're going to use AdsPower, and you're going to connect these proxies and these accounts, aged accounts that you buy. Once you bought those accounts, you're going to one second. Once you bought these accounts, you are going to warm them up. And in the warm up stage, you're going to ideally take 3 days, right? Warm up. And you're going to take, ideally, like, you want to take 3 to 5 days. 3 to 5 days. Warm these accounts up because they're new. After logging them in, you're going to have to warm them up. And just start liking content. Don't just go into the account and start, like, changing stuff. Don't, like, start sending DMs the exact same day. Wait 2 to 3 days. Start liking content. Engage a bit with each of the accounts, and then you want to start sending DMs. Now, how do we send the DMs, right? We have those accounts, they're ready, we have them in a profile, okay, they're ready to start sending messages. How are we going to send messages? Now, the software I use is called IGDM Bot. Okay, this is work best. Now, there's 2 ways you can approach this. You could send, IGDM Bot is by far the cheapest. So, like, you just have to buy IGDM Bot once for $16. And you could use that for 100 accounts. I only pay $16 to run 110 accounts on IGDM. It's amazing, right? Unlimited, there's no limitation. So use IGDM Bot. One second, IGDM Bot. Okay, now you could use IGDM Bot to either send general messages, right? They could be, hey, whatever, right? Or you could use it to send personalized messages. This is what you want to do. You want to send personalized messages. Now, I'll have an in-depth video of how you're going to do this. But personalized messages is basically you're going to take their name and be like, hey, X name, right? So it could be, hey, John, this is Unib, or whatever, like whatever your pitch is. But it's going to be personalized, right? And that's honestly the best way you can start sending DMs. Now, how many accounts would you need to start 10K DMs, to like send 10K DMs safely? So the safe option is you want to send 35 to 50 DMs a day on one account. Now I keep on the lower side. I send 35 DMs a day on one account. And with this, like I send, with 100 accounts, I send 3,500 DMs. Okay, and if you want to send 300, like 10K DMs, you're going to have to buy about 300 accounts, right? You just do the maths, man. You're going to have to buy about 300 accounts. You're going to set them up. But you could increase this, right? But this is the safe limit. Your account probably won't get banned if you keep this. Like, if you keep sending, like, 35 DMs a day, this is the safe range. But, like, if you want to take risky, you could send more. Send, like, 50, right? Send 55. I don't know. Just do it at your own risk, because if your account's banned, like, don't blame me. But I try to keep it safe, and, you know, my system is working. You send 35 DMs a day. Let's say you have 10 accounts to start with, right? That's 350 DMs. You could send 55 safely. I have sent 55 DMs. So initially when I was just running 10 accounts, I was a bit more, I would say, like, I was a bit more confident, okay? But none of those accounts got banned. So I sent like 500-600 DMs on in a day. Let's just say you send 50 DMs a day, right? Let's say you have 10 accounts you set up, and you send 50 DMs a day. Sorry, 500 DMs a day. Let's say 10% reply. Realistically, I'm selling you something, right? You're not gonna get a 5-10% reply rate. It's gonna be way worse than that, especially if you have a cold approach to it. my reply rate is like, I have a 1% reply rate, okay, but I'm sending so many DMs that it doesn't matter, right, what my reply rate is. I'm still consistently getting 2 to 3 booked appointments daily, right? Of course, it depends on the day. Sometimes it's less, but let's just say like I'm getting X amount. So let's say you are sending 500 DMs a day and you get, let's say you have a 5% reply rate. 5%. Now, 5% is going to be about, oh my god, man, I am not good at maths. Okay, 5% reply rate is going to be about like 25 replies, right? You get 25 replies, okay, and from those 25 replies, you get, let's just say, 5 positive replies. So you get a 1% positive reply rate. This is what I'm getting on average, okay? From those 1%, you're probably going to book 1 to 2 meetings daily. And let me tell you that this entire process, like this entire thing, it's gonna cost you less than, like, I'll just total this for you. Scraping leads is completely free. This software, right, IG followers, is completely free. You could use IG, like you could use Growman, but you don't need that. Then comes the AI. Again, it's free. You use DeepSeek, you use, like, you could use ChatGPT. And then you use Z2U.com for aged accounts. Each account is going to be $1 to $2. Let's just say that's $15, man. Proxies, $5 at most. Like, I'm using IPv6 proxies. You could get them for like $2, $3, okay? Then ads power is probably going to be the most expensive, second most expensive thing. It's probably from $10 to $15, $20. I don't remember exactly. And then IGDM bot is $16, right? But this gets cheaper as you scale, and you're gonna start sending thousands of DMs. Like, you gotta eat up the cost. It's probably the cheapest way so far, right? This is the cheapest way. Don't buy IPv6 proxies, and you can get started with $50, and you could be sending 500 DMs a day and get consistently 1 to 2 booked meetings a day. Now I'm gonna have, this is just like a very rough video. It's not gonna be super edited. Just like, if you actually want information, I've explained out the mind map, the what you need to do, and I'll have a more detailed. Let me know. I'm gonna have another video where I'm gonna share a AI agent that scrapes and also qualifies leads. I'll have another video coming out soon. But this is the exact same system I use for my accounts, and I'm sending, trust me, I'm sending thousands of DMs a day. I have used other softwares. Like, I've used 3 softwares for this, okay? I have used 3 softwares for this, right? And this was the best. I used like Dolphin Ansi. I used Hide My Account, etc. And then for these, I used $150 proxies, and I've used 5 cents proxies. And let me tell you that the 150 did not. I don't think they're worth it. Okay, there were IPv6 proxies. I used WebShare proxies, like, so overpriced, man. Just use 5 different proxies, and these are IPv. I mean, they're not going to be 5 cents. I'm pretty sure the proxy sales are more expensive, but I'm just giving you an idea. But they are pretty cheap. You could get like 10 proxies for like $3, $4. I don't know, man. But you should be golden. Okay, and then aged accounts. If you need any help, just hit me up on Instagram, and I can help you out. Again, I'll give you guys the supplier for the aged accounts. If you guys need help setting up, I'm always like open to answer questions. I don't have anything to sell you guys, so yeah, man. Let me know. Peace.